Hey YouTube, I'm Bryce, and you're watching Zoom English Lessons by Team ESL. Today we're going to look at another one of our 12 grammar points. We're done with the present, we're moving to the past. Today we're looking at the past simple tense. So what are we going to be looking at? We're looking at positive statements, we're looking at negative statements, we're looking at yes and no questions, other questions, irregular verbs, and the uses of the past simple. It's going to be amazing. And if you're interested in learning about the past simple, then this is the video for you. Let's get started. Positive statements, past simple. Here we go. Boom. All right, the past simple. How do we create this tense? Well, we use the subject plus the past participle of the verb. What is the past participle? Well, it's the base form plus ed. Super simple. So for example, cook equals cooked. We have our subjects, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, and they. Here's our past participle, walked. I walked. You walked. He walked. She walked. It walked. We walked. You walked. They walked. So we're not talking about the present. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about the past. So we're talking about walking at a certain time before right now. Let's look at another. Let's continue this example. I walked to school. So just stating where we walked. All right, another example here. Cooked. I cooked pizza. You cooked pizza. He cooked pizza, we cooked pizza, you cooked pizza, they cooked pizza. One more example, studied. I studied English, you studied English, he studied English, we studied English, you studied English, they studied English. We're all studying English right now. So actually, one thing to note is if the base form ends in Y, delete the Y and add IED. For example, study becomes studied. As you can see, you can kind of see it's cut off on my screen here, but study becomes studied. And if the base form ends in E, just add D. You do not need to add another E and then D. So for example, dance already ends in E. That just changes to danced, not two E's. All right, guys, that's positive statements. Let's keep it moving. Let's start taking a look at negative statements. How do we create the negative statement using the past simple? Well, we use the subject, then we use this new word did, then we use not, and the base form of the verb. So we will not be using the past participle when making a negative statement. We'll be using did not instead. Now, if you want to shorten that from did not, you can make it didn't. So here we have our subjects. Then we'll use didn't, the shortened version of did not. And then we have the base form of the verb. So I didn't walk to school. You didn't walk to school. She didn't walk to school. We didn't walk to school. You didn't walk to school. They didn't walk to school. Next up, cook dinner. I didn't cook dinner. You didn't cook dinner. He didn't cook dinner. We didn't cook dinner. You didn't cook dinner. They didn't cook dinner. And our last example, study English. I know you're all studying English right now, but for the sake of the negative statement, you didn't study English. She didn't study English. We didn't study English. You didn't study English. They didn't study English. That was our negative statement walkthrough. Let's go on to yes, no questions in the past simple. Come on, guys, you're doing great. So how do we form the past simple yes, no questions? Well, now we want to put did first. We'll go did, then we'll go the subject, then the base form of the verb. So here we got did. Then we have our subject, and now a base form of a verb. So did I study English? Did you study English? Did he study English? Did we study English? Did you study English? Did they study English? Ooh. Did I cook dinner? Did you cook dinner? Did he cook dinner? Did we cook dinner? Did you cook dinner? Did they cook dinner? Yes, I did cook dinner. No, I did not cook dinner. Yes, he cooked dinner. No, he did not cook dinner. Yes, they cooked dinner. Nah, they did not cook dinner. All right, walk to school. Did you walk to school? Did she walk to school? Did we walk to school? Did you walk to school? Did they walk to school? No, I did not walk to school. No, she did not walk to school. Yes, he did walk to school. Yes, they did walk to school. No, they did not walk to school. There are some yes and no questions. Moving down our list, let's look at some other questions. Other questions always use question words. What are the question words? Who, what, where, why, how, and when. All right, so to form the past simple using other questions, using question words, we want to go question word, did, subject, and the base form of the verb. So here we go. Oh, question words, just like I said a second ago. Who, what, where, why, when, and how. So we'll use where, did, subject, study English. So where did I study English? Where did you study English? Where did she study English? Where did we study English? Where did they study English? Answers? I studied English at school. He studied English at university. She studied English at home. Let's see. What did I cook for dinner? What did you cook for dinner? What did we cook for dinner? What did you cook for dinner? What did they cook for dinner? Talking about the past here. I cooked pizza for dinner. She cooked pizza for dinner. He cooked a cheeseburger for dinner. They cooked noodles for dinner. He cooked nothing for dinner. Who walk with? Who did I walk with? Who did you walk with? Who did she walk with? Who did we walk with? Who did you walk with? Who did they walk with? I walked with my friend. She walked with her boyfriend. He walked with his girlfriend. You walked with your parents. They walked with each other. All right, we've done positive statements, negative statements, yes, no questions, other questions. Now we want to look at something else. We want to look at irregular verbs using the past, that are important with past participles. So these are irregular past participle verbs. So you will want to memorize these verbs so that you can memorize their irregular past participles. So B is was. He was, she was, they were. And for you would use was with I, he, she, it, and you would use were with they, you, and we. So those subjects go with was, these subjects go with were. Have becomes had, do becomes did, say becomes said, make becomes made, go becomes went, find becomes found, take becomes took, come becomes came, see becomes saw, know becomes knew, get becomes got, give becomes gave, win becomes won. Oops, let's go back. So you can see these do not follow the normal patterns of past participles. It's not as easy as just adding ed for these verbs. That's what makes them irregular. So remember the past participles because they don't follow the pattern. The only way to know the past participles for these common verbs is just to memorize their past participles. All right, we've gone over irregular verbs. Now let's look at probably the most important thing on this list. Why and when do we use the past simple? So looking at the past simple, when do we use it? We use the past simple to talk about single actions in the past. The action starts and finishes in the past. I watched TV last night. So at a certain time last night, I watched TV. I'm not watching TV anymore. That action is over. So let's take a look at our graph here. As you can see, we have our arrow pointing to right now, and we're looking into the past. You watched TV last night. This happened sometime before. So the past simple is very simple to understand. It's an action that started and finishes in the past. I watched TV last night. I cooked dinner 1 hour ago. I ate food 2 hours ago. I walked to school 2 days ago. I studied English last week. Let's see. I played soccer on the weekend. So all these are just talking about actions in the past that are also completed in the past, not happening right now. So that is when to use the past simple, talking about single actions in the past and talking about actions that start and finish in the past, such as I watched TV last night. All right, we've gone through positive statements, negative statements, yes, no questions, other questions, irregular verbs, and the uses of the past simple. Now, please, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to practice your past simple and if you want some feedback from myself, please write in the comments below one positive statement using the past simple. So remember, the past simple is just the subject plus the past participle. Create one negative statement, which just means the subject plus did plus not and the base form of the verb. Create one yes/no question, which is did plus the subject plus the base form of the verb. And create one other question, which just uses a question word, who, what, why, when, how, and did, a subject, and the base form of the verb. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you want to see more content, we will be doing more grammar videos every couple days. Give us a subscribe to watch more of our fantastic English content. My name is Bryce. You just watched Zoom English lessons by Team ESL, and I hope to see you next time on Zoom. See you guys later.